Hey, let's try that again. Hi, folks. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Let me go ahead and check the volume on my phone just to double check. Other than that echo, everything sounds okay. So we're going to go from there. Welcome to the stream. Sorry about that yet again. BearNPC here, ready for my stream. I haven't streamed in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So I apologize in advance. Things are kind of cattywampus here. I think I should have the music and the volume kind of balanced out. If anybody notices any problems, feel free. Go ahead and type away in chat and we'll see where things go. But yeah, today I am planning on working on some LARP content, possibly playing some Stardew Valley, but we'll see where it goes. Hope everybody's having a great night. Yet again, for the most part, I work on LARP stuff and D&D stuff. So if you have any questions, comments, or anything, feel free, jump on in the chat, ask away. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into my LARP work for the night. Okay, let's make sure all my sounds are good. It says the music is on, it says my mic is on, so we should be good. Okay. So this whole document that I'm working on right here is the code of conduct for Crestfallen, which includes, as you can see, we have a content warning here, which goes over the, anything that might bother people is involved in the content warning. So, it's a LARP, it's a combat game, so there's violence and injury, and there might be, role-played body dismemberment and kidnapping and suicide and things of that nature. All of those can be very upsetting to certain people in certain circumstances. So we need to make sure at the outset that people are aware that these items will come up, and if that's a no-no for somebody in particular, then they should be aware of it just in case. Second paragraph goes over real-world politics and religion. We don't depict any of that kind of stuff at our events. This includes holidays, holy symbols, traditions, dogmas, any of that kind of stuff. Some stuff might be brought into game by different players. That is not the intent of the game itself. Yeah, just trying to make sure that people understand that, there is no fake religion planned in the game. Some creatures might say that they are powerful like a deity, but on an out-of-game level, those creatures are clearly lying. Just to make sure that there is no crossing of lines. Also, it goes on to say that, we use our own versions of certain monsters or creatures that are found in different religions and stories across the world, but there are our own parody versions of these creatures, never intended to cause any harm or insult. We might use similar names. I mean, lots of the things in Dungeons and Dragons are already, found in other cultures and have been basically changed to fit into the D&D cosmology and things of that nature. So we're doing a very similar thing, but we're trying to be open and honest that these are our versions of things and not, intended to be based off of the real versions. And then we get into mental illness and mental health. Those are very, very important and difficult subjects for a LARP to tackle. we go into the thought process. The plot will never knowingly include a mental illness or mental health disorder as the primary catalyst for a character to be good or evil. We don't want that to be a character flaw for a character. We don't want to play up anything that might upset someone. But on the same token, we want our players, if they have their own mental illness or health disorder that they wish to bring into their character's backstory or role play, as long as they're super knowledgeable about it and they're going to represent it authentically, then we want people to have the chance to work through those kinds of things. But it's a very difficult subject to tackle. So we just always want to err on the side of being sensitive to people that have those conditions and whatnot. Whenever it comes to pregnancy in the game, it can be discussed as parts of story. You know, you're going to have noble heirs, you're going to have things of that nature. But we never want to depict pregnancy in the game, just because there is character death in the game. There are things of that nature, and I've seen a few times at different games character pregnancy being handled very inappropriately, because some people may have lost a child or things of that nature, and we don't want to get on that sensitive subject kind of thing. And then we go into the very real but very sad topics that we never want to depict at our game, ever. Rape, sexual assault, slavery, child abuse. That stuff we never want to include in any of our stories. Characters can have that as part of their backstories if they keep it to themselves. We never want to deny the existence of these themes in the real world, but these are very upsetting things that some people take for granted and might play off as silly and whatnot, and we don't want anybody to do that kind of thing. We don't want anybody to downplay the severity of these things. So it is better to avoid using them as tropes or plot effects or plot anything in our game. And we as a LARP are not having anybody under the age of 18, so we don't want to have anything in regards to children whatsoever. I'm not generally a fan of adults playing children. There have been, fae stories about growing children so that they are older than they actually appear and things of that nature. We might get involved in things like that, but those are very difficult subjects. We kind of want to avoid that if at all possible. Next part is basically saying, LARP is a great opportunity to work through personal problems and struggles and stress. But a LARP and our staff, we are not trained medical mental health professionals. So we're going to have a number of safety mechanics to make sure that people feel as safe as possible. We're going to have consent rules that we're going to discuss so people feel that they are comfortable in the area. But we are not a substitute for anybody getting mental health help. So we want to list that. All that kind of stuff. It's never fun to talk about any of this stuff, but it's good to have at least a basis so everybody is coming at it from the same perspective. Next, we're going on to the sportsmanship policy stuff. Just going over the vital portions of sportsmanship, knowing and understanding and appreciating the rules and the policies that we've put in place. Understanding that the rules as written are the rules. There is no spirit of the rule per se. If there's a loophole or workaround or other variation that is found within the rules, we don't want people to take advantage of that, but we also need people to contact us so that we can give clarification on the rules and amend the rules so that the written rule is the actual spirit of the rule as well. Next, going into fair play and honesty regarding out-of-game rules and discussions with staff are mandatory. So if somebody breaks a law in the game, we as a staff might need to know on an out-of-game level if that law was broken or not. We don't want the character to doesn't necessarily need to be honest, but all of the players have to be. We have to trust that everybody is playing fairly. So that's an important portion. Recognizing and appreciating people that are performing, because LARP is one part acting and one part gameplay. There are some people that come strictly for the role play aspect of it, which is perfectly acceptable. I'm not one of those people, but we need to have a way for those people to, have fun and express themselves. Maybe they're going to, really, really get emotionally involved. My characters previously have had issues where I have been emotionally involved in things and whatnot. I try to balance the role play aspect as well as the combat, as well as the gameplay aspect. But you can have different gameplay styles all at one game. So we need to make sure that we're being as open and as inviting as we can to different players with different styles. Respecting staff, marshals, plot, NPCs, EMTs, all of that kind of stuff. These are the people that are running the game. So, even if you don't believe that somebody has made the right call, you have to kind of respect that person's position and then get clarification later. Sometimes, plot people, staff people, marshals, whatnot, have to be the arbiters of the rule to keep gameplay flowing. And then after the fact can look up the rule, and they might have made a totally wrong call during the course of that, but they'll clarify it and try to make sure that everything is treated fairly in the future. Everybody respecting all members is required. While people might not like each other, it is important to maintain a cordial and tolerant level of respect for all members. Crestfallen LARP will not tolerate any purposeful disrespect between its members. Plain, simple, to the point. Everybody has fun in different ways and with different aspects of LARP. All members should do their best to contribute to the enjoyment of all players. All members, including owner, staff members, safety members, may be questioned regarding their actions and or the rules. If there is discrepancy or concern regarding them, there is a staff structure that will be in place where questions can be raised. So if people don't like the way that I rule on something, they can go to somebody else that they feel more comfortable talking about it with, and then they can bring it up to me or bring it up to other people so that problems can be addressed. Not everybody's going to feel comfortable talking with everybody else. That's okay, but we need to make sure that players have an outlet to get any of their thoughts across, so so staff know what's going on and what people are thinking and how people are feeling about the game. Otherwise, you have people that just never come back or get bitter and jaded about things without really explaining the why. And that's kind of disappointing. Okay. Hold on one moment, folks. Sorry about that. Nope, all good. Nothing important. Illegal drugs and alcohol. I don't know why I have a comma there. We don't allow the use of illegal drugs and alcohol during our events. Members are expected to be under the influence of such substances may be removed from participation, asked to leave, have law enforcement involved, or be asked to not return. Not a huge thing that I really want to get into, but definitely going to make sure that, you know, everybody is playing and the game is treated as safely as possible. Safety mechanics. Now, a lot of this stuff, whenever we were running the national game, a lot of this stuff didn't exist before. Like the hold rule was always in place for, you know, physical safety, calling for an EMT, things of that nature. But in the last couple of years, it's got a lot more. It's very important to have boundaries and safety mechanics so that people, A, feel as safe as possible, and B, if there is an issue, there's ways that are notated to handle things. So, for example, negotiated role play. Some people really have problems with having confrontation with other players. I'm not one of those people. I can have a fight with somebody on an in-game level and then go and talk with them very cordially out of game later, because I can separate my in-game from out of game. Some people aren't as good at that. So some people want to negotiate that their characters have problems with each other, or find out that they have problems with each other and want to negotiate how their rivalry will work and things of that nature. I'm not opposed to that. I think we need to have negotiated role play for couples in game, because I've seen that, to quote LARP's the YouTube show, relationship dynamics can cause problems with games. So I definitely think that there needs to be some negotiated role play whenever it comes to couples, and role playing couples in games and things of that nature. So we want to have rules written out for that. I don't think it needs to be required, and I think people need to understand that their character's actions might draw the ire of other people. Say, for example, if your character is a murderer and you kill another player character, there are going to be repercussions in game, whether that is by the law in game or that is by other players. And to a certain extent, you need to understand there are repercussions for your character's actions. But there are some people that keep to themselves and try not to get involved in that kind of stuff. And tapi they want to push their boundaries a little bit and want to be more antagonistic to other people. But they want to do so in a safe way. So we want to give them the option for that. Look down is a way to opt out of emotionally stressful situations. If something is really bothering someone emotionally, and that can change, it can vary. For example, if something really bad happened in your personal life, so you cannot handle a particular stressor at the current moment, this is a great opportunity to use this kind of safety mechanic. Basically, what happens is you look down and you cover your eyes in such a manner to show players that you are opting out of this discussion or situation, and you remove yourself from game for your own mental health / safety. Assumed consent. In the national-based game, there were certain effects where you could touch cast spells on people and whatnot. Basically, we are looking at this as all players are assuming consent, touch on the arms from the wrist to the shoulder. So if you wanted to carry someone, you have to put your hands on their shoulders and say, "I carry you," or something of that nature. If you wanted to touch cast spells or things of that nature, you can do so on the arms without having to ask for consent. And it is automatically assumed that touch on the arms from the wrist to the shoulder is okay. It is assumed that that consent is okay between all players. Affirmative consent, you have to get consent from anybody that you are interacting with to do anything more than touch from the arms. So if you wanted to actually pick someone up and carry them, physically carry them, things like back rubs, things like hugs, anything like that, it is better to ask for consent than to cause issues. So we ask that people gain affirmative consent before doing anything in regards to that kind of stuff. Now, we don't necessarily want to have sexual interactions at the LARP, but that is not true at all LARPs. So, and then the OK check-in, if you're worried that, a conversation is getting too stressful for a particular person, basically you can flash the OK symbol to the player that you are interacting with, trying to be discreet, and they can give a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a wavy hand sign to show that they are okay out of game to continue with such role play. It's just a way to double check and make sure that everything is okay. I know I personally wouldn't necessarily want somebody to check to make sure I was okay, but sometimes things do get heated and you want to make sure you're not hurting someone's feelings or you're not aggravating someone to the point out of game. A lot of these things I've used. I played at Dead Legends, and during the time that I was playing there, one of the people that was in charge of plot was Erica's, and she does a lot of work in the LARP community for a whole bunch of different LARPs, actually, in regards to safety mechanics and consent and making sure that people handle things appropriately. So I'm very thankful that she has posted a number of blog articles and documentation in regards to these things. I'm using a lot of that, and I'm also documenting it. So I put a thank you in the documentation there, because she has been very, very thorough in regards to that. She goes and plays at a lot of LARPs too. And she is very much a more theater oriented, role-playing oriented LARPer than I am. So while we have a difference of opinion on the way that games are structured and the way they should be played, not necessarily should be played, but can be played, I definitely respect the work that she's put in and the way that she has tried to make sure people are safe at games and ways to maximize that. So I'm very appreciative for the work that she has done and wanted to document that. After that, I'm going through additional policies, a thievery policy, things of that nature. There aren't a lot that... Basically, I'm looking at things that go... that are important for us, but not necessarily are part of the other sections. So I haven't fully fleshed that out yet. But then getting into philosophies, and I think this is a big thing that LARPs need to do. A LARP needs to say kind of what their philosophy is towards running their game, because a big thing I noticed whenever I was playing at Dead Legends, I was told the game was one thing. I showed up and the game was a different thing. And then whenever plot teams changed, it turned into a completely different thing. And I think if the game officially stated, hey, these are our philosophies, this is how we're viewing things and how we've written things, I think that that would be very, very helpful for players to know. Because while they might not necessarily agree with all those philosophies or ideas, at least they know where you're coming from whenever you're running your game. So if they run into a problem, they can look at it. Okay, is this a difference of opinion and philosophy? Or is this something bigger that, I have to step away from or I can deal with? I think that's an important thing. Yeah. I think in here I need to put armbands. Because our staff are going to have different brightly colored armbands. Orange for non-combat. Green plot. And blue, for plot team and marshals. And blue for EMT. Okay, there's that. Okay. Age requirement. NPC requirements. We do require NPCs to have a certain amount of gear that they bring with them. Not very costly things, but basically we're going to require that NPCs have black, gray, or brown basic clothing, so pants and a shirt, and some kind of belt pouch or something to transport treasure in. Other than that, we're going to we may have some other requirements, but I think that for the most part is going to be where that's going to be the line. So nothing major. Some LARPs require a whole lot more. Safety mechanics and consent. Clothing requirements. We don't want anybody... basically what we want to do to make sure that everybody is comfortable is no shirt, no shoes, no service type of thing. We don't want anyone running around topless. We don't want anybody running around in clothing that is unsafe for the climate at the time. So yeah, just making sure that everybody is comfortable. I generally dislike the whole topless or running around in underwear kind of things that can occur at LARPs. So anything to avoid that kind of stuff is important in my mind. Not everybody may feel the same on that, but we shall see. Next, after our additional policies, we're going to have core philosophies, like I said. So attendees have to buy in. If somebody's just not feeling it, we would rather have them, not there than forcing it. There are just those people that want to run around in t-shirts and shorts and beat up people. That's okay. That's well and good for a little bit, but we really want people that will buy into the story. Fair character progression. We want everybody to have a fair shot to progress their characters. We don't want it to be a pay to win type deal. While pay to win might be while paying for progression might be an option, there are going to be a number of options to make sure that it is not just pay to win type deal. So you can buy extra points for your characters, but you can also get those extra points through donating your time, your energy, making props, bringing other people, things of that nature. It's never just going to be a set monetary thing, and everything's going to be limited so everybody has a fair shot at character progression. Everybody has to be involved in site care. Everybody has to clean up for themselves. Everybody has to do a cleanup after the game is over. Transparency. I want everybody to understand that how the structures are laid out, where any money is going towards that comes in. Accountability. I am not going to take any money out of the game until I can pay all of the staff members, and even then it's going to be a fair shake across the board. Just because I am starting this thing doesn't mean that I want to take a bigger portion or anything like that. For the most part, I want the game to be sustainable on its own. I'm not worried about paying myself. Low cost barriers to entry. We don't want to be the most expensive game out there. We don't want to have everybody have the most expensive gear or require a certain amount of that kind of stuff. We want people to build their sets and their props and things like that. But not everybody can do that right away. We want to give people a chance to build and grow and whatnot with the game itself. The basic rules are easy to follow. I want to make sure that the actual physical rulebook is as short as possible. No 200 to 300 page rulebooks like previous. There are already the number of effects and things like that. I want to make it so that people have to learn the bare minimum. But if you as a character can do something, you need to know what you can and can't do. A big portion of the national game was you had to memorize all the spells because you need to know what they do to you whenever you were hit by them. I wrote a list of effects, and those effects might reference, or those spells might reference those effects, but it is up to more to the spellcaster to know how their spells work and what they do, rather than just Sorry, I just saw the goblin flicker on the screen over there. Yeah, OBS updating really goofed up some stuff, so I apologize. Yeah. In-game philosophies. Monsters are always evil. Period. They want to do all of the evil things that we don't necessarily want to discuss at the game. Yeah. NPC-run governments and organizations are always good. In the national game, I ran into it way too often where the nobility were evil. And while that makes sense, you know, power corrupts. We need for the NPC governments and organizations to be good. So basically it can protect all of the players that are playing in the game. And that ties into the in-game. The in-game laws are a guide to protect players. If a character is breaking the law, but it's against NPCs, as long as everybody is having fun and it's not affecting another player's fun, that's way more permissible than if a PC steals from another PC. You're cutting into that other player's fun. We want to allow those things to have the possibility to occur because perhaps, you know, it's in retribution for something else or things of that nature. But the in-game laws themselves are ways that we protect our players from other players. Going along with that, plot never gives players power over other players. We never have a nobility system where a person can law another person. Strictly in NPC hands. That way it's safest. The crafting and economy is in the player's hands. This is a big thing because too often you could use points you gain out of game to craft items and then sell them and whatnot. It's just another way for people to get more powerful, pay to win, things like that. I want the crafters to drive the economy, not necessarily an out-of-game kind of thing. Combat and non-combat players have opportunities to feel important. I definitely want to have the game work so that combat is not the only way to play. There's ways to role play. There are puzzles. There's gathering things. There's all kinds of different ways for non-combat players to get involved in the story. Lots of information gathering, delving history, things of that nature. Fair access to the story for all players. Oftentimes plot hooks would be given to one group or another group, and it goes against, you know, what's going on. So I want everybody to have the chance to access the story. And then evil characters. I'm totally okay with evil characters. The real problem comes in where those evil characters are acting evil to other players and how it affects their fun and things of that nature. So I'm probably going to have this document. It's probably going to end up being about 8 pages. Overall, I think it's working out pretty well. We shall see how it goes. But that is all in regards to that. Now I hear in the other room Baby Bear is crying. So I'm going to probably take a break real quick to go ahead and double check on him, make sure that everything's okay. And then I'll hook up some Stardew Valley and go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break real quick, and I will be right back. Okay. Okay. So, let me just see if I can do this. There we go. Syncing data. Sorry, I'm going to pull this up on my phone again. Okay, testing 1, 2. I'm going to turn that down a little more. Okay, I think that should be good. Sorry for the echo. Let's go ahead and get some gameplay in. So I'm doing pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. I watched some other people playing this game and they do a lot more stuff than I was. Okay. They are way farther along by this point. But it's all good. I'm still learning. So apparently one of the things I should be doing is using some the berries that I got from the first season, and I shouldn't have sold them. I should have been using those for energy, but such is life. I don't have a lot of cash right now, but that's okay. Let's see what mail I got. Okay. I don't know what kind of bait I put in them. Okay. Okay, let's see if I got any. Wednesday. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do at least one more after this. Okay. Okay. Okay, field snack. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and gather stuff. Let's see what we got. Come on. I don't know what that was. Okay. Okay, so I can, but I can't cut down those. Okay, weird. Weird. Okay. Okay, nothing there. Hi, folks. For anybody who might have stopped in, I'm currently not working on any LARP stuff. I went through a bunch of the social contract stuff. But if you have any questions, anything you want to talk about in regards to the LARP or D&D stuff, feel free. Jump on into the chat. Ask away. Anything in particular you want me to talk about, let me know. And of course, there's nothing on the beach. Son of a biscuit. I really need to get better at this game. Oh, he's going through the garbage now. It's okay, man. Or you could just ask for some food. Okay. Gotta get back before time runs out. What are you doing in the graveyard this late? Okay. Good night, cat. Sunny day. Good luck. Hey, I'm not good at fishing. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that. Okay, let's see what mushrooms showed up. Cool. Said I'm likely to have good luck, so I should probably go to the mine. Okay. Okay, so let's switch that. Ow. Nope. There we go. There's my next path. Nope, I'm good. Okay. Come on, I gotta get down to 40. Come on. Come on. Bats? Inventory full. Crap. Dang. Okay. Shoot. Bye-bye, clay. Come on. Okay. Come on. I just need the stairway out of here. Last level. Come on. Don't fail me now. Slingshot. Okay. Get me out of here. Well, found a decent bit of stuff at least. We shall see. Okay. Okay. Sunny. Okay, I really need a light source down there. Okay. Said my luck would be good today too, so let's go and get mushrooms. Okay. Okay. It is hot as heck in here. So yet again, folks, if you are, I don't remember. I remember coming up here before. And I can't do that. Okay. So I don't remember coming up here before. Maybe that's just my own dumb fault. Maybe I just didn't notice it ever. Not gonna destroy your tent, dude. Quality retaining. Okay, cool. Crystal fruit. Okay. Okay. Not fun, but okay. Okay. Frozen tear, that's good. Come on, stairwell. Where are you at? Okay. Okay. Dang it. I want to get across there. Okay. Let's see. Nope. Don't have any of them yet. Okay. Common mushroom. Plum. Okay. Okay. So nothing there. That's not new. That's all fish. I haven't done any fish stuff. Okay, none of that. That's all money. And this. Bat's wing. Fire quartz is the only one I need left for that. Okay. Anything up here? Okay. And back to sleep. Okay. Well, I think I am going to go and get some rest. It's been a crazy couple days. Crazy couple weeks, actually. But yeah, if anybody has any questions on the LARP stuff, feel free message me on the Facebook page. Otherwise, I'll hopefully be streaming next Monday and Wednesday. Probably not this Friday, but we'll see. So thank you very much, folks. I appreciate it. Have a great evening. Stay safe out there.